Hello, my name is Robert Gutierrez. I have been assigned Module 11, and the concept I'm going to be talking about is cognitive dissonance. Um, Defined, I looked it up on dictionary.com, and the definition is the state of having inconsistent thoughts, beliefs, or attitudes, especially as relating to behavioral decisions and attitude change. Broken down, for example, a better way to explain this is, or an example is believing you act or believe a certain way, but your actions contradict what you believe you are, and so it is cognitive dissonance. So it's like being naive, I guess you could say. Now I'm going to tell you a story to provide you a better example. If your family is like mine, you know that gossip, or chisme as we call it, is almost like an extended member of our family. I'll start by saying that my mom once called me, telling me that she hates how much my family talks about each other and how much they gossip about each other, and that she's not the kind of person to go around telling people secrets or talking about people behind their back, because that's not the kind of person she is. She's always saying that about how she always just feels like, oh, the entire family just likes to talk about this and talk about that, and it's so annoying because I'm not that kind of person. Well, there was one time where I was having a disagreement with my roommate, and who's part of my friend group, so I couldn't talk to my other friends about it because knowing them and knowing the way people are, they would probably tell them somehow, and so it would create a big confrontation and conflict that I really don't like. So I decided to tell my mom about my problems because I wanted some advice and an outside opinion on how I should handle the situation. But I only wanted to talk to her and not anybody else, because if I did, I would have gone to them. I told her what was going on, and I told her how it was important that she not tell anybody, because I'm from a small town and all of our parents are friends, and my roommate's parents are friends with my parents and my aunts and uncles, so I know that something would maybe be bound to slip out of somebody's mouth, and this my feelings would have gotten shouted out to people that I didn't want to. So she gave me advice, and then I reassured her that I did not want anybody to know about this. And she said, "Okay, no, that's not who I am. I'm not going to do that. You already know that." So I'm like, "Okay, whatever." So later that day, my aunt and my uncle separately called me and gave me their 2 cents and their opinions about what they thought that I should do. And I was like, "Okay, who told you this?" And of course they said my mom. And so I was like, "Okay, thanks for your advice, whatever, bye." And I called my mom, and I was like, "Okay, so what happened to, oh, I don't like to spread gossip. I don't like to talk about people behind their backs or share their secrets." And she was like, "Yeah, well, this just really upset me, so I had to tell them, and it's a different situation." And so I was like, "Okay, no, because you always spread chisme. You're just like everybody else, so stop playing that game." So that's an example of cognitive dissonance, because it she believes that she is a certain thing, but in reality, her actions differ from that. From this example, I can infer that my mom was exempling cognitive dissonance because, um, though she believes that she's something else, her actions don't match that. So now I can transfer this to other situations because I understand what cognitive dissonance is and how it affects people's actions and their beliefs. And though they think that they're one thing, they really are not. It's difficult sometimes for people to stick to their beliefs and ideals in every situation, because what one believes they are might not be the actuality. And in conclusion, though this may be one example of cognitive dissonance, there are many more that people display in their everyday lives. Sometimes the examples are crystal clear, like my mom, who does says she's something but is actually not, and sometimes they're so minimal and so overlooked that people don't recognize it as being cognitive dissonance.